Welcome to this week's Terrace Bay Council meeting for December 1st, 2025. The meeting kicked off with the formal swearing in of the new student councillor, Riley McGrath. Council approved a $599.45 tax refund under Section 357 and formally passed the 2026 annual borrowing bylaw. A key decision was made on arena repairs, including fixes to humidity control and lighting issues. Finally, Council backed a province-led resolution urging federal criminal code reform to strengthen homeowner self-defense protections. Now here's the agenda.
Everyone, I've reached the hour of 6:30 on Monday, December 1st. I call the City Council of the Corporation of Terrace Bay to order. Declaration: the Council of the Township of Terrace Bay hereby acknowledges that we are in the Robinson Superior Treaty Territory, and the land on which we gather is a traditional territory of the Nishnawbe and the Métis. Are there any additions, deletions, or amendments to the agenda? Hearing none, we have a motion moved by Councillor St. Louis, seconded by Councillor Aduno. Resolved that Council approve the agenda for the regular council meeting held December 1st, 2025 as presented. All in favor? Carried. Are there any disclosures of interest? Okay. Adoption of minutes. We have a motion moved by Councillor Aduno, seconded by Councillor St. Louis. Resolved that the minutes of the regular council meeting held November 17th, 2025 be approved as presented. Any questions on that motion? All in favor?
Good question. I was wasn't sure if the minutes need to reflect that the student councillor was present at the meeting.
I'm gonna make that amendment. It changes to as amended.
Sorry, I should have cut that earlier.
No problem.
Okay, we'll do that again. Moved by Councillor Duno, seconded by Councillor St. Louis. Resolved that the minutes of the regular council meeting held November 17th, 2025 be approved as amended. All in favor? Carried. Thanks, Gary. Reports from administration. John, swearing in of our student council.
You can raise your right hand, and we're gonna read this out loud. Find the all, please.
I, Riley McGrath, having been elected or appointed to the office of student councillor in the municipality of the Township of Terrace Bay, do solemnly promise and declare that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise this office to the best of my knowledge and ability. I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or any improper manner. I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipality Conflict of Interest Act. I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, and I make this solemn promise and declaration conscientiously, believing it to be true and knowing that it is of the same force and effect as is made under oath. Declared before me. Oh, okay.
Just there. So this.
Finance scanning, property tax refund.
Your worship. Section 357 of the municipal act states on application to the treasurer of a local municipality made in accordance with this section, the local municipality may cancel, reduce, or refund all or part of taxes levied on the land in the year in respect of which the application is made. Section 357(5) of the Act requires that council hold a meeting at which time the applicant may make representation to council and council may make a decision. Within 35 days after council makes its decision, an applicant may appeal the decision to the assessment review board by filing a notice of appeal with the registrar of the board. So today, a property within the township, roll number 2045500, has completed a Schedule 357 application to request a refund on residential taxes applied to the property for the 2024 taxation year. The owner of the property was undergoing significant renovations, and 60% of the house was unlivable between February 5th and July 7th, 2024. As such, the taxes for this property are recommended to be refunded to the owner as calculated based on the provided information. So the financial implication is $571.14 of municipal tax revenue and $28.31 of school board revenue will be returned to the owner for a total of $599.45. Options are: one, that council approve the refund of $599.45 to roll number 2045500 as per section 357 of the Act, or that council does not approve the refund of $599.45 to roll number 2045500 and direct administration otherwise. Recommendation is option 1.
Any questions?
No.
Okay, we have a motion moved by councillor Aduno, seconded by councillor St. Louis. Resolved that council approve the refund of $599.45 to roll number 5854-000-0020450 as per section 357(1) of the Municipal Act. All in favor? Carried. Okay, next standing is the borrowing bylaw.
Every year, council must pass a bylaw to approve the borrowing of funds if necessary in accordance with subsection 4071 of the Municipal Act. Attached is the borrowing bylaw agreement with CIBC outlining and authorizing the borrowing of money. This money will be used to meet current expenditures for the 2026 year if required. Currently, administration does not foresee the use of these borrowed monies, therefore there are no financial implications at this time. The options are to A, accept the borrowing bylaw agreement with CIBC and the appropriate bylaw be brought forward, or B, do not accept the borrowing bylaw agreement with CIBC and direct administration otherwise. Recommendation is option A.
Any questions? No. Okay, we have a motion moved by councillor St. Louis, seconded by councillor Duno. Resolved that council accept the borrowing bylaw agreement with CIBC and that the appropriate bylaw be brought forward. All in favor? Carried. Thanks, Danny. Thank you, Danny. John, you're gonna do the report for the dehumidifier?
Correct.
Okay.
Hey, your worship, Katie says regrets under the weather today. So at the November 17th council meeting, information only update was provided regarding the open funding applications through NHFC and their subsequent request for us to close one of the two projects that are attached to the Terrace Bay Arena. So the two projects are listed there: the Arena and Curling Club essential upgrades, plan to replace two dehumidifiers in the arena and one in the Curling Club, perform brine header modifications and upgrades to add new LED lighting in the arena. This project has an approval amount of $375,000, which is covered by NHFC at 75%. The other project is the Terrace Bay Arena floor brine pipe replacement, or the floor project. Plan to replace the dasher board's existing floor, brine distribution piping, headers, lines, and insulation, and replace the concrete flooring. This project has an approval of $2.5 million, covered at 50%. So we needed to make a decision with these projects, and it's been challenging, as it's involved numerous discussions with management and maintenance to explore the rationale for the dehumidifiers versus the arena floor. As discussed with the earlier report, the arena suffered a difficult startup this year caused by elevated levels of condensation. However, we also had a bit of a narrow escape related to the floor when the brine pipe was found leaking in late summer. Both issues are serious and speak to the challenges we are continuously faced with this now 75-year-old arena and shell building. In saying that, feedback from council, administration, and community leans strongly towards the value and importance of the arena to the citizens of Terrace Bay. So the current discussion amongst administration initially leaned towards the floor project because without a functioning floor, the arena will have no ice. Following further discussion and consideration of all factors summarized below, administration felt the dehumidifier project makes the most sense at this time. So the structural damage and future costs. So condensation on the ceilings, walls, and other surfaces can lead to corrosion, mold growth, and deterioration of building materials. Over time, this can result in preventable, costly repairs and maintenance. The unsafe ice conditions. So increased condensation in the arena has created poor ice conditions that lead to safety issues for both staff and users. Higher costs and increased staff time. So managing the dripping from the ceiling, removing the ice damage led to increased staff time, staff frustration, and equipment costs, and stretch resources affecting other maintenance responsibilities. Comfort issues. So high humidity levels can create an unpleasant environment for spectators and staff, with excessive moisture in the air causing discomfort and reducing overall satisfaction. Dehumidifiers are expected to improve summer comfort in there as well. The floor project is still absolutely vital to the future success of the arena. So we haven't forgot about that, just so council is aware. Funding options will be explored on an ongoing basis and brought forward as applicable appropriate. So financial implications, the arena dehumidifier project is currently funded at 75% to a max of 375. Again, as I mentioned earlier, any township related costs will be brought forward as part of the 2026 budget. So the options are move forward with the dehumidifiers and lighting project for both the arena and curling club at a cost of 375, covered at 75%, and close the arena flooring project. Option 2 is to move forward with the floor brine piping replacement project at a cost of $2.5 million and close the dehumidifier project. Option 3 is to close both projects and apply for a combined arena project to cover all necessary repairs. There are more repairs that arena will benefit from, and the updated cost should be considered. Consider alternatives for the arena. So administration at this point is recommending option 1, that we move forward with project 7510271, dehumidifiers and lighting project for both the arena and the curling club, with the cost is $375,000, covered at 75%, and the application for the arena flooring project be closed at this time.
Any questions? So John, like, I don't know, one of those month or two ago, there's a project for the curling club dehumidifier. So how does this tie in? Because that one was like 200,000, I think.
So there's funding for the curling club dehumidifier specifically, funded 100% from OTF, which is curling fund. And this portion would cover some of the engineering potentially for that project.
Oh, so there are different funding
There's
streams.
2 different projects
Okay.
going on, yeah.
Okay.
The NOHFC dehumidifiers was originally applied for was for the dehumidifier for the arena. We're looking into exploring the possibility of using one dehumidifier for both buildings, so there's a lot going on there. Of course, the project still has to be tendered, and we don't know the full cost until it goes out for tender or RFP and it comes back.
Okay.
What kind of completion date are we looking at by next?
Hopefully the work will continue or start sometime when the arena season's over.
Yeah.
And then we have the entire summer hopefully before next season, but it's hard to say. We don't know what the source time is on these dehumidifiers. They're sitting on a shelf somewhere, or if they have to be specifically designed for the building size. So more information will come forward with council through budget.
Probably just a reminder question for me. We go to start plant next year, we have a problem with the arena. Are we still able to run the curling club?
So that's part of the brine modifications in this one, I believe, are putting a cut valve to do, so you can shut one off and run the other one. So we currently have that capability, so.
So we run into a problem next year with the floor and we can't do it, then there's no curling club either, right? That's the.
Well, if we do the modification, there would be a curling club.
Okay.
Any other questions? Okay, hearing none. We have a motion moved by Councillor St. Louis, seconded by Councillor Dunham, with administration recommends option 1 to move forward with project 7510271, dehumidifiers and lighting project for both the arena and the curling club, with a cost of $375,000, covered at 75%, and that the application for the arena flooring project be closed. All in favor? There. Okay, next item is communications, resolution support. Is strengthening self-defense and protections and addressing rising home invasions in Ontario. We have a motion moved by Councillor Aduno, seconded by Councillor St. Louis. Whereas violent home invasions have increased in several regions of Ontario, creating growing fear and frustration among residents. And whereas Ontario homeowners increasingly believe that current self-defense laws do not provide sufficient or clear protections for individuals who lawfully defend themselves and their families during violent intrusions. And whereas rural residents often experience police response times that can exceed 30 minutes or more, leaving citizens without immediate protection when confronted with life-threatening emergencies. And whereas the absence of home invasion as a distinct offense in the National Uniform Crime Reporting System prevents governments from understanding the true scale of this crime and reporting appropriately. And whereas the province of Ontario has repeatedly called for strengthened homeowner protections, including consideration of castle law style provisions, and for the federal government to act, and whereas residents expect all levels of government to take decisive action to address gaps that leave families vulnerable in their own homes, now therefore be it resolved that the Township of Terrace Bay strongly supports the province of Ontario's call for strengthened homeowner self-defense protections, including the adoptions of clear and robust castle law type provisions to ensure that law-abiding residents can protect themselves without fear of unjust prosecution. And that council calls on the government of Canada to immediately prioritize reform to the criminal code that strengthen and clarify the rights of homeowners who act in legitimate self-defense during violent home invasions. And that council demands that the federal government amend the Uniform Crime Reporting System to classify home invasion as a distinct criminal offense, allowing for accurate tracking, targeted enforcement, and informed public policy. And that council urged the province of Ontario to take stronger action to monitor, publish, and improve police response times in rural and northern communities, and to ensure that residents are not left unprotected due to resourcing shortages. And that council encourages all Ontario municipalities to adopt similar resolutions to demonstrate a unified municipal voice calling for urgent reforms that protect citizens in their homes. Be it further resolved that copies of this resolution be forwarded to the Prime Minister of Canada, the Minister of Justice, and the Attorney General of Canada, Premier of Ontario, the Attorney General of Ontario, the Solicitor General of Ontario, MPP Lise Bourgeois, and all Ontario municipalities. Any questions on that motion? All in favor? Carried. Okay. Bylaws. We have a motion moved by Councillor St. Louis, second by Councillor Duna, resolve that council approve a bylaw to authorize borrowing of money to meet expenditures of the corporation of the Township of Terrace Bay to be read first, second, and third time, and finally passed, signed by the mayor and clerk, sealed and numbered on this first day of December 2025. Any questions on that motion? All in favor? Carried. Any questions? Anyone in the audience have a question while we wait online?
If there's any questions from the online community, now would be the time to type them in the chat. Your question must pertain to an item on the agenda. Please identify yourself with first and last name. Second call for questions online. And third and final call for questions online.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we will now move into close. We have a motion moved by Councillor Webb, second by Councillor Dubé. Resolve the council move the next portion of this meeting in camera at 18:47 to discuss minutes from the previous in-camera session held November 17th, and one matter concerning personal matters about an identifiable individual, including municipal or local board employee regarding committee appointment applications. All in favor? Carried.